Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be taking a look at a new deck which I think has a lot of potential in the new Ikoria standard, and that is Dimir Flash. So let's get right into the deck tech. The first thing you'll notice is that our whole deck can be played at instant speed, which is the whole point of the deck. So starting at the 1-drop slot, we have two Spectral Sailors, which is a good source of card advantage late game either through its own ability or by evolving it with Sea Dasher Octopus. We'll get to him later, but he's a key part of the deck. The next card is at the 2-drop slot is Brineborn Cutthroat, and he's kind of like the main grunt of the deck, providing growth over time with his +1/+1 counter synergy when playing at instant speed. Then we have two Cunning Nightborn, a new card from Ikoria. This card cuts down all the costs of all our flash creatures, which is useful especially with some of the higher cost things to play them a turn early. The next thing is two Aether Gusts, which helps with red and green decks, especially with things like Nissa still running around. This is a very useful thing, I think, in the main deck. Next, we have 3 Quench, which is our main like tempo counterspell, which we can use either to protect our own creatures or to stop their threats. Then we have 2 Tyrant Scorn, something to answer creature decks, which I think are still going to be relatively relevant in the metagame. 3 Brazen Borrower, one of the better creatures in the deck for sure. Its 2 modes allow us to have some great versatility with bouncing things and also having a 3/1 attacker in the air. Then we have Sea Dasher Octopus, 4 of in this deck. I think this is going to be one of the better cards from the new Ikoria standard set for sure. It's going to allow us to get in and replace cards with its own ability. It can either attack on its own or we can put it on one of our flyers to get in easier. Then we have Slitherwisp, and that's the main reason we're going Dimir in this deck, is another source of card advantage which we can play on the opponent's turn. And whenever we play a flash creature, it gains us not only a card, but it also works to get our opponent to 0 with its ability. Then we have 3 Mystical Dispute, one of the all-star counterspells in the current standard set. Works great against any blue deck, but even against non-blue decks, you can game 1 try and work it in. Then we have 2 Neutralize. A new counterspell which I'm going to try out just because its cycling ability lets us get rid of it if we don't need it. And then 3 mana is quite expensive for counterspell, so we're not really looking to pay it, but late game it can stop something that the other counterspells can't. Now we have 2 Dirge Bats. This card seems to be quite useful. Its mutate cost is quite high, so that part of the card will only come into effect later. But up until then, we do have a 3/3 flash body that we can do, and it combos really well again with Sea Dasher Octopus because we don't have to mutate it onto something for 6 mana. We can play him out for 4 and then mutate the Sea Dasher onto him for 2, and that still triggers his ability. And then finally, another new card from Ikoria is the Voracious Great Shark as a 3 of, and this is our Curve Topper. He's a card that not only counters a spell, but also leaves a relatively large body in the 5/4. So you can see the whole point of this deck is to try and get incremental value through either playing early game threats that we can protect or late game threats that come in with some massive upside like countering a spell. Lands, we have just a relatively simple land drop suite of 4 Watery Graves, 3 Temple of Deceit as our dual lands. We don't really want too many tap lands in this deck because we are looking to really take advantage early game. So I went with 3 instead of 4. We have 14 basics between islands and swamps with a heavier reliance on islands because it is a mostly blue deck. And then 1 castle Vantress and 1 castle Loctwain for some card advantage and card selection. And finally 2 Fabled Passes just to get us the colors that we need if we need them. Alright, so moving on to the sideboard, we can see that we kind of have a wide array of options here. 2 Disfigure for early game creature decks like Mono Red, Duress for some control decks, another Aether Gust if we're running into more of those red and green decks, Disdainful Stroke for things like Fires of Invention decks and things that play really big threats, Essence Scatter for similar ideas where they're playing creatures that we just need to get rid of, Negate for more control decks again, 2 Blacklance Paragon. I'm not too sure about this card, I'm just trying him in the sideboard right now. He seems to be relatively okay versus aggro decks. We can flash him in, kill their threat, and gain some life. Epic Downfall for things like Uro, Noxious Grass for Uro decks, deals with Nissa, and some of the control decks we might side it in if they're playing heavily to Fairy base because he's one of the worst cards that for our deck, as he makes everything that we're trying to do impossible, pretty much. Farika's Libation, if we're running to some Wilderness Rec decks, and Ashiok, just in case we need a little something else for those Uro decks. So that's the deck tech. We're going to be running the deck in some standard ladder gameplay, and let's see how we do. Alright, so first match of the day, we're playing against, it looks like, a Gyruda deck. We're on the play, so we can probably guess that he's Dimir as well, and he's only playing instant or even cost CMC spells. So this hand is a little threat light, probably just too many lands here to really do anything. We have Mystical Dispute, which would be probably pretty good against him, but we're just lacking any form of early threat, so I'm going to throw this one back. This one we can't keep, unfortunately, as it only has one land, and we're really looking to at least have 2 lands here. And this hand looks much more keepable than the rest. Nice 3-lander to get us going. Early game threats and a protection spell. We'll probably throw back the Great Shark just because we won't get back to him at any time soon. And then probably one of the threats here. We'll probably want to keep this. Probably just throw back the Sailor, and then we can Temple on turn 1. Alright. So Temple. We see a Mystical Dispute. Against his deck, I'm going to say this is going to be a pretty good card, so we'll keep it on top. See what he's up to. Alright, so looking more like Esper as opposed to just pure Dimir. Temple on his turn doesn't really tell us much of what else he could have been doing, considering he can't have a 1-drop play here. We'll go with a Swamp here, as that allows us to do anything we want. And not take the life, maybe we'll draw a land next turn. So not Dimir, not Esper, maybe Bant. Quench? No, Growth Spiral. Okay, so maybe a Bant rampless that's just running in even CMC thing. So no Uro then, which is nice. We see an island off the top, so we'll just get in for a 2. And now we're in a pretty good spot, I'd say. We have 2 counter spells to answer whatever he's going to do for us. And it seems like he also is either flooding out or is playing a more instant speed deck. Get in again, see what he does. Change this guy to our nice silver color. Takes it. Here we can't really do anything with the 4th land. Can't cast the Great Shark, and then if we Quench in Mystical Dispute, it's going to be 3 mana regardless. So play it tapped. We'll Fabled Passage, see if he is hiding any other colors in his deck. Doesn't seem like it. 5 mana here. Still nothing. Okay, well, that's pretty good for us. We hit our 5th land, which means we can cast everything in our hand. We can even Quench Mystical Dispute for its full cost if need be. So we'll see what he does. He's going to Growth Spiral and let that through. At this point, he seems to have relatively all the mana that he wants at this point. So he's either digging for something, trying to ramp out something big, maybe get through his Gyruda, 2nd Growth Spiral on the turn. Again, I'm just let it through. We're in a position now where our early game counter spells are looking much worse, but if he's looking to play a Gyruda, we can fight it relatively easily with these 2. Charming Prince, so maybe a Bant Blink deck. Yeah, so that's what we were waiting for here. A larger threat that we would want to Great Shark. Charming Prince, while good, doesn't seem to be the threat that we would want to take. Looks like it's going to go through. We're going to get his Elite Guard Mage. Now he just has 2 mana to decide what he wants to do with our creatures. Alright, so we haven't drawn action in a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate. We're just going to get in with our Great Shark here. See what he does. He's up to 2, 4, 6, 8 mana. So I think we will try and fight this. Doesn't seem like he's working with anything. So we got in his companion out. It's in the graveyard, much less threatening now. He's working with 2 cards, we're working with 1. Our 1 card is mostly dead at this point. Castle Vantress, not the best, not the worst draw. So what he wants to do here. He's going to take it and go to 1. Okay. Alright, so Thassa, kind of expected here. Not going to quench it just to waste his mana, because then we can't castle on top of that. Or we could actually. No, we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we could. So I might do this here actually. It's going to stop him from tapping down our creatures as well, which is good. As well as prevent him from making any further plays on his turn. So he'll probably bounce this, gain 3 life, and go up to 4. Won't be enough though if that's his only plan. Okay, yeah, we see the concession. Alright, so against this kind of Bant Blink deck, we're probably going to want some more things to interact on the stack so we can kill things like Thassa. But honestly, our deck seemed pretty well equipped to deal with it now. Seemed like he was mostly creature based. So I might bring in 1 negate just to deal with some of the counter spells he's probably going to bring in. Creature spell seems good here. He seems very creature based. I don't think I need another Aether Gust here. I don't think he's playing really too many green cards. Might actually cut down on that. Maybe even go into none. And from there, he can't be playing Uro, so we don't really need to worry about that. Green or white seems good here. With that, his creatures aren't really all small enough that we want Disfigure. So I think that's good. We have the Tyrant Scorn regardless. And then now that that's out of the way, we probably just want to get rid of something that will not be as helpful in the deck. But our deck is pretty good against him, so kind of struggling to see what we might want to take out. Maybe go down a Shark since we're on the draw, and he's a little worse there. Yeah, let's try that. We brought in some other stack interaction, like the Essence Capture, to help smooth that out regardless. Alright, unfortunately another 1-land hand. We cannot keep this. Alright, he's also taking a mulligan, so that's good for us. This hand seems a little better. Not great, considering that we don't really have any interaction. But hopefully we draw into that. We are on the draw. I'm going to throw back a Brineborn, just because he seems like the worst card here. And we already have another one of him. Okay, so he's starting with another Temple. Again, we don't really have to worry about anything on the 1-drop slot from him. We're just going to put out a Fabled Passage to ensure we can hit every land drop here. Get a black source. So on 2, I'm going to assume that mostly he's got like Charming Prince, Growth Spiral, and maybe like a Paradise Druid. We'll see. Does seem to have something here. Some sort of instant speed interaction, so I'm going to say it's probably a Growth Spiral here. Get a Swamp. Alright, another land. Not really what we wanted to see. We're just going to throw out an island here. So it's not Growth Spiral. Okay, so maybe it's like a Quench or something of that nature. Luckily, he doesn't have a Teferi here. Not that he could have it, because he's this deck, but just nice not to worry about it. So no interaction for him either. Another Brineborn. Alright. Play a Castle Vantress here. We could try and sneak in the Octopus to try and generate some more card advantage, but honestly, I'd rather just play him out on the opponent's turn. Our hand's pretty full right now. We'll not only put a counter on him, but get another body here. and diversify our threats a little bit. Plays a Fabled Passage. Nothing again. So yeah, we're going to play him out as a creature, grow the Brineborn. See what he does. Okay. Let's resolve. Interesting. Alright. Our 4th Brineborn that we've seen. We're going to play this untapped. Give us the most options here. Just try and get in. If he flashes in a creature or something like that, we can Brazen. He doesn't. Okay. An island. Alright. So you can see the value of the Sea Dasher here. Our hand's not looking too good, but whatever was on the top of our deck wasn't going to help us anyway. So just getting through it, really useful here. Just to try and power through with something. Alright. Elite Guard Mage. Okay, so it seems as though that was his play. We'll probably play a Brineborn, bounce it. I don't really mind him getting another 3 life and a draw out of it if it means we just tempo him very effectively here. Yeah, another tap land. So we played the Brineborn first, of course, so we can get the most value out of playing our Brazen Borrower here. Alright, so Neutralize was a great draw here, just a all-in-one counter spell. Don't have to worry about any conditions for it. Knock him down to 4. Draw a card, Quench, also very good. I think we're going to lock it up here just because I don't think he's going to have enough interaction to get through both the Neutralize and the Quench. Yeah, Gyruda, not the play here. You just neutralize it. And yeah, so that was a relatively easy game. You can see these kind of Bant decks without Teferi here aren't really effective at stopping us. We just kind of out-tempo them. So that was a good game. Try another one. Alright, so match 2 here. We're on the draw. This hand seems okay. Not the best, not the worst. But we do have all our colors. We have some interaction on turn 2. And going past that, if we can eke out any other sort of card advantage here, we'll be in a pretty good spot. So we have Yorion, the Sky Nomad. So we're dealing with a large deck, so not looking to mill him out. And let's see, when he enters the battlefield, exile non permanents. Okay, so he's another sort of flicker deck, maybe. Drew a Temple, so we'll play that turn 1. Another Slither Wisp here could be good. You know, I'll keep it. We have enough early game interaction that having this draw that is kind of redundant, but might get us there with card advantage will help. Seems like he's playing a slow deck regardless. I'm going to guess it's probably Jeskai Flicker from the looks of it. Alright, so play an island here. Alright, so he's going to make a wall. Not very relevant against our deck, where you can just kind of go over it. Or bounce it, or do really anything against it. So if he's looking to play Teferi here, yep, we're going to definitely quench that. So this matchup is probably going to be relatively difficult for us, all things considered. If he has another Teferi here, things are looking much more difficult. Hopefully not. Narset, definitely worse than Teferi, but not great regardless. This is probably going to be a pretty hard matchup for us. Look at the Slither Wisp and start trying to generate some form of card advantage. Deafening Clarion means that we probably won't be trying to do. Or though with Narset, the card advantage is definitely going to be hard to pull off. So another land, definitely not what we wanted to see. We're in a pretty bad position here, so we're definitely going to want to get rid of the Narset by Brazen Borrowing the token. And then we can either feign that we're holding up something, or we can just play the Watery Grave tap, but we have so many lands that I don't think that's really necessary. Alright, so hopefully he does something just like maybe a Deafening Clarion early. This card's not good right now. Does nothing. Okay. So that kind of allows us to play the Fabled Passage here, so we can get an island if need be. I'm not going to play out the Sea Dasher right now, simply because we kind of need to not get Clarion right here for terrible value for us. Alright, so one top, one bottom. Never really can expect to see anything too great from a Omen of the Sea. Usually don't bottom both. Alright, so Thirst for Meeting. So yeah, no counter spells for us. It's really unfortunate here, as it just kind of lets him run wild with whatever he wants to do. Alright, so he discards 2 lands. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's fine on that regard. Alright, so I'm going to Brazen Borrower here. Omen of the Forge, sure. So we're going to definitely lose our Slither Wisp here. But we did get the trigger off. Another Slither Wisp. Okay. Okay, so we could Sea Dasher here, and that would allow us to get an extra card. He will then 2-for-1 us with the Clarion, but that at least means that he's going to have to use it. So I think I am going to go for that. Plus then we refill with Slither Wisp. So all things considered, a Clarion here might not be the worst thing for us. I'll take another island. Seem to be fine with black mana for now. And we'll flash out this guy. He's running things like Omen of the Forge, so I assume anything that could kill our Brazen Borrower would kill the Octopus regardless. So if he did manage to get on there, we would have just kept him as a 3-1. Alright, so we're at 5 mana. Which means we definitely want to be able to double Slither Wisp next turn, if need be. So yeah, we will attack with Brazen Borrower. So we don't really want to play out anything too soon. We can't actually double Slither Wisp, so maybe we should take in an extra swamp there, yeah. Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate. So we're just gonna swamp and end the turn. See what he wants to do. Probably just maybe sack one of these. I feel like next turn he's going to want to go for this. So we'll see. It's a 4-5. So it's going to be tough getting that thing out of the way. It's looking like our play might be Slither Wisp into Petty Theft. See what he wants to do here. So he can't do both. He's just going to Clarion. Okay. Okay, so yeah. I might Brazen here. I think it will actually, just to get an extra card. Doesn't seem like we're really going to be bounce anything against him. Okay, so Voracious Great Shark is a great draw here. Right, Brineborn is also good. Alright, so we'll get in. Knock him down to 6. So we're sitting at 6 mana here, which means going to 7 would allow us to Great Shark and Brineborn. Not that we're at a really precarious life total regardless. Alright, so yeah, we're definitely going to try and Great Shark here. We'll see if that happens. Don't want to Brineborn here. Actually, probably should have. It's not worth the feign, just because, like, if he's going to try and fight it regardless. So yeah, that was a little bit of a misplay, but it seems like we got it anyway. So it seems like he's a Jeskai, probably Blink deck again, so I'm going to assume that Negate will be good here. I'm going to assume that Essence Scatter seems... I didn't really see too many creatures from him. He might just be trying to blink other non-land permanents. Green or white does seem pretty good, though. Kill this to Fairy. Duress could be good. Doesn't seem like he's playing super high CMC, so I don't think I want that. I'm going to hold off on the Essence Scatter as well. The Tyrant Scorns seem bad, though. Maybe go up 1 Duress. We definitely want all the stack interaction we can. So in that case, we may want to go down. Cunning Nightborn seems great here, so he can't counter our Sharks. Though we don't really know how many creatures he's playing, I still think it's worth it to counter his companion. Let's see. Early threats seem good. Sailor does seem pretty good here, actually. Let's go down to Dirge Bet. It doesn't seem like he's going to have too many creatures. Alright. So it's good that we got game 1 here. Especially with Teferi, it's much easier to answer him if he is on the draw as opposed to the play. A lot of 1-land hands, speaking of which. A lot of 1-land hands. Playing 25 lands, so I don't really think it's that problem. Just probably getting a little unlucky here. Keep this, go down to Nightborn. And I think I'm inclined just to get rid of the Slither Wisp, honestly. Like, maybe just get rid of the other Nightborn. We're probably going to want to, yeah, on 2, probably do one of those regardless. So we'll see. Okay, so we drew into the swamp, so we can cast everything out of hand now at least. That's pretty good. Yeah, I have a feeling the lack of our card disadvantage here is going to really be quite difficult to work around. Hopefully he just plays recklessly and to fairies. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like he's going to. He's probably learned from that. We'll temple here. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. Just playing a little carelessly. Well, we do see an island. But yeah, we definitely should have played out the swamp so we can Slither Wisp. That is a mistake. Alright, yeah. So now we have enough for the Slither Wisp, so we just want to play out another island. Yeah, so you can see how harsh that mistake is going to be. We could definitely have had a Slither Wisp if anything, or if not, we could have taken a counterspell out of his hand. The good thing is, due to the high deck size, at least he'll have high variance in his deck. Alright, so Narset, we'll definitely try and negate that. Okay, goes through, that's good. Play out a Spectral Sailor. Essence Scatter. Okay, so seems like the Slither Wisp would have been countered. So honestly, might end up working in our favor that we didn't play him out, even with the misplay. Alright, so I think I'm just going to Slither Wisp here. Alright. It's an Omen of the Forge. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get out our Brineborn here before he can kill this. Alright, so we see a Brazen Borrower. Flame Sweep. Okay, so while that is a bit unfortunate, it basically negates this. I mean, he pings us for 2. Shocks us, but like, not really the worst thing. And now we're in a spot where we have the same number of cards in hand. He has scries and more lands, so we're not in a great spot, but our hand is pretty solid. So I honestly think we have a decent shot at pulling through here, especially with the high variance of his deck. He could just be pulling lands. So at least one of those was a land. That's good. And or just like other things that he really doesn't need at the moment. One top, okay. I think I'm going to flash out the Brazen Borrower here. Again, the bounce aspect of Brazen Borrower seems pretty bad given that he's a blink deck. So just getting out a threat right now that we can defend seems okay. Okay, so a Watery Grave is not great here. Okay. I'm expecting he's just going to sack this probably. So we're at 5 mana and we can cast both our spells. So just put this in tapped. Doesn't sack the Omen, so I guess he's looking to get value off of this. I don't know. I guess he also had one on top, so the scry wouldn't have been as useful. Alright, is he going to Deafening Clarion? Okay, I think I will counter that. Alright. So if I quench here, that leaves us open. He's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So quench isn't going to do anything against this card regardless. So I think just getting one more turn out of our Brazen Borrower attack here would be good. He's down to 1 card. Alright, so Island, again, not what we want to see. A Sea Dasher Octopus would have been, well, he would have just died, but yeah, we'd need some sort of threat here that can incur card advantage as well. A Great Shark would have been excellent there. If he does this now, at least we're in both kind of top deck mode. Yeah, okay. Oops. Why oops? I don't know. Alright, so another quench. Things are starting to get away from us, it feels. Alright, yeah, we're going to counter that while we can. For sure. Alright, another land is good. And an ECD for no value. Okay. So what's he looking to bring back with that Narset? Okay. A Spectral Sailor at least draws us a card. We'll do it in response to this probably, just so that, so he gets rid of this, we don't have to worry about it blinking again. So we'll draw it in response, I think, to, actually we can just do it now, see if we get a creature. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think we want to do this yet. No real reason to. We'll show that he can just attack us. Okay, that's again not great. We haven't really seen, I guess we have seen a lot of individual cards here. Alright. Alright, Deafening Clarion. That is unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, things looking quite bad at the moment. Slitherwisp is a card though. And you can see how, like, if some of these earlier lands or quenches were these cards instead, we could definitely be in a much better spot. Like, the card advantage engine in this deck is pretty crazy. So he's going to sack Omen of the Sea. He's going to get back his Narset in response to that. Actually, just before he draws a card. Or, that didn't work. Yeah. We got 2 bodies out here. Alright. So he gets his Narset back. Gonna dig for something. This might keep back the Yorion. We'll save what he draws into. Alright, so Teferi's probably just going to be GG. Our deck interacts very poorly against Teferi, and it's probably the biggest weakness of the deck. Let's see what he does, though. I mean, if he attacks in, we kill something, right? So we can always let him misplay. Can always let him misplay. Doesn't seem to want to. Okay. At this point, I feel pretty locked out. Quench is a dead draw. Slither Wisp here is not very good considering Teferi and Narset. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede here. Doesn't seem like he's going to misplay. Alright, so we're much better equipped if we're on the draw. And also if we don't draw a 5-land hand to start, we will be in a much better position there as well. I didn't really think that anything we did was wrong. Definitely taking out the creature removal is a good thing to do. We might honestly just want the Essence Capture instead of this Dirge Bat, just so that we can definitively kill his companion. And I think that's honestly might be better. Disdainful Stroke didn't really see like he was playing anything super high of CMC. Alright. So 1-1. On the play. Oh man, unfortunately again, just the lands are not in our favor. Okay, this hand is definitely better. Oh, we have the Aether Gust still in the deck. Yikes. I don't know if we should have that. I mean, like, he has the Clarions and the Omens and stuff, but yeah, that doesn't seem like it's worth. Alright. So, all things considered, in a pretty decent spot. Probably should play the Swamp so we can play Slither Wisp next turn if need be. But then we couldn't neutralize unless we draw a Watery Grave. Alright, so nothing from him. We'll play out the Cunning Night Bonder. Now this card will be pretty good against his counter spells. So yeah, we see the Essence Scatter. Makes sense. Alright, Sea Dasher. Alright, so hopefully he has a Teferi here. We can just get it out of the way. But it didn't seem like he was willing to risk that last game, so I have my doubts. Overall, this matchup seems favored in his way, but only slightly, honestly, because the Teferis are so hard to find in this 70-card deck that honestly it seems like just the variance fights against him mostly. Seems to be in the tank. We have pretty good plays here though. If he plays nothing, we'll put out a Sea Dasher. Alright, yep. Try the Sea Dasher. See what he does. Another Dispute. Okay. Well, try it again next turn, I suppose. Yeah, the problem is we could try and wait here for something like another land so we could Dispute Protect it, but we're just so far behind right now. We missed our land drop. He has more cards than we do, especially with the companion. He has another card in hand, so just kind of hoping, I guess, that he doesn't have it. Seems like a better option. Alright, Let's see if he gets greedy here. Decides to put out a Teferi or something. Alright, seems like he's going to hold off again. Times on both players still very good. First two rounds went relatively fast. Alright, so he has some sort of interaction. Could just be the Omen. I mean, that's what we're hoping for. Deciding if he needs to kill it now. Maybe he's deciding if he needs to kill it, flame sweep, something like that. Okay, let's hit through. Yeah, okay, so. Alright, so another no land here means we are on the probably neutralize or bust kind of plan. Let's see what he does. Another land from him. Alright, Cunning Night Bond. It's definitely not tap or blue. Neutralize. I think this is worth fighting over. Mistal Dispute is only getting worse. Alright, so Watery Grave. Sort of what we've been looking for a little while now. See what he does here. Alright. Best play would probably just be him doing this. We counter. Alright, Shatter the Sky. Could just let it through. But okay, so I think the better play is just let it through and then we Slither Wisp neutralize that next turn. Does feel a little bad. Alright, Cutthroat. It's an okay draw. Alright. See what he does. He does have the potential to make a human, so we got to keep that in mind. Not that he can profitably block this. Alright. Yeah, another land here would be great because then we could Brineborn and neutralize. I think we just have to neutralize here. Yeah, we just... Alright, he has the land for this. So not huge value from him. But he is going to get a card out of it. And 2 scries. So kind of like drawing 2. So 1 top, 1 bottom. Alright, Noxious Grasp is great here. I think we will just do this now so that we don't have to worry about him counterspelling it. Now that that is out of the way, we can attack with our Slither Wisp. We'll be able to draw a card next turn. You can make a human, but that's okay. A Charming Prince. Okay. Is he going to exile the Omen? Is he going to scry? Just takes the scry. Oh, it's a creature. That is why. Yeah, I thought... I don't know why I thought he could do that. Okay. So hopefully just that. 2 bottom is great for us. He's doing that. Well, he can't castle with that. I'll tell you that. Let's see what it is. What you got? Yeah, I might have tapped wrong with the Charming Prince here. No, just a neutralize. Do you get the Slither Wisp though? Alright, Duress is terrible here, and a Watery Grave, so both very bad draws. No real reason to Duress currently. We will play out the Watery Grave. Yeah. Definitely not going to attack in here. So you can see how running even any sorcery speed stuff, okay, really hinders the deck. Okay, yeah. That is very bad for us. Let's see what happens here. Alright, so unfortunately, even though we were able to get through his Yorion, might not be able to get through the other stuff. So in this position, I am inclined just to get whatever this is out of his hand. Maybe. Alright, so that's great. We get that out of here. Alright, so Slither Wisp comes back out. We'll probably be playing Sea Dasher here as its own creature. But again, seems like he is just in a spot where he's going to be able just to make a guy every turn. That's interesting. Okay. That's interesting. Alright. Yeah, so Aether Gust here, we can see not really going to be doing much. These probably should have been boarded out. In fact, I think before the next match, we will put in more Noxious Grasp just because of how bad Teferi is for us. Yeah. If only. If only.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Yeah, I mean, we're not dead, but it feels like we're in a spot where we can't really win anymore. Definitely not going to bounce this. Obviously. You couldn't make a human last turn, so that's nice. Tri-land cycle. Okay.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, at this point you could bounce this, kill this. Our deck really isn't built to win from this position because all of our card advantage either comes from attacking in, which we can't do, casting spells on his turn, which we can't do, or just having creatures out, which we can't do. So I think at this point he's kind of locked it up. We're just going to concede. Alright, so match 3. We're going against our first non-companion deck of the day. This hand seems okay. Doesn't have a threat early, but has a lot of interaction. Aether Gust might be dead, but we do have not only a draw, but a scry. So Aether Gust doesn't seem like it will be dead. This might be like a new version of what the cat deck has become. With like the more recursion package and running Croxa and stuff like that. So we see a Sailor here. Sailor here we'll keep just because it allows us to put something onto the board that we can attack with, as well as if we draw a Sea Dasher, then we're just making loads of value with that. Alright, so this is actually good for us because we can deal with it pretty much at any time, and it lets us get the cards that we need to kind of dig out of this. So yeah, Quench is also a good draw here. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of whatever he throws at us. Judith is a great Quench. We're gonna take 2. But honestly, as of right now, we're taking 3 a turn with it and its ability. Not really too worried. Alright, so we don't have a real reason not to have anything but 3 blue here. So we'll do that. We get to draw again. Alright, another Judith is something that we are looking to get rid of again. Another idea here is that we could gust it so that he does that again next turn and play out the Sailor. I think I actually like that more. So we're gonna gust it first. And then no real reason not to play out the Sailor here, but not that we could block it anyway, but we'll just wait till end of turn. Keep things consistent. Okay. So unfortunately in this position we cannot neutralize his Judith coming down next turn as well as Sea Dasher. So what we're gonna do instead is play out a Swamp, and we will get in for 1 because we can't block it anyway. And we are going to pass. Going to draw. Land. So you can see he's actually below us in life totals because he's had to shock in every turn, it seems. So, General's Enforcer. Okay. Legendary humans control have indestructible. Exile creature. He could play like a Croxa. I think it's worth neutralizing this. We'll keep or disputing this. We will keep the neutralize so that we can cycle it if need be. So yeah, next turn, Angrath's Rampage. That's fine. That gets that out of the way. Yeah. Alright. Another neutralize here. So in that scenario, we're probably going to want to play out a swamp here so we can Great Shark whatever creature he's throwing at us. I think that's better. He's been playing creatures on his first main too, so we might even be able to... we can't block because it has Menace, but... so yeah, we'll just pass. Alright, so you can see that this tempo game has been working quite well for us, and we're getting into a position where we can start turning it around. Alright, so another General's Enforcer. He could have a another land though for the Diva or Judith. So this is a tough spot because if we had a 6th land here, it'd be quite easy just to say neutralize, neutralize, but we can't do that. So I think what we're gonna say instead is Brineborn here. And then we'll neutralize. Yeah, I don't think we want him to. This is fine for now. Yeah. Him having the Stormfist has ensured that he always has extra creatures to play out, so we can't really complain about that. So we'll see if he actually has the land. Yeah, at this point we're looking for like a Brazen Bar or another Aether Gust. This we will just neutralize. So he did have the extra land. So we go to 8 here. Okay. So this is an interesting turn. I think we're probably going to want to keep something back just so that we can block whatever he does. We're going to have 6 mana. So if we want to neutralize Octopus, we'd have to shock. But since we're such low life, I think we're just going to castle. And then that also allows us to Slitherwisp neutralize if we want. Or hopefully he just plays out Judith and we Great Shark. Alright, so we go to 7. He goes to 8. He shocks. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to come down to the wire because... Yeah, we definitely... And he can't Judith after this. Which is excellent. Yeah, probably a mistap on his part. He also can't Angrath's Rampage. General Kudra. So he's going to be indestructible. Okay, I think we're in a decent spot to take this game. He is indestructible, so if we get any kind of bounce creature, that would be quite good for us. As it means he'll have to chump 2. Okay, so we will definitely block this. It's not indestructible. It's gonna kill our Brineborn, but not much you can do about that. Alright, so now at this point, we're definitely gonna probably want to keep up a neutralize. We can go to 5, but if he has any sort of interaction, 5 lets us go to 7 mana, so we can... What can we do at 7? 2 spells. 2 spells, 5. We can't actually do anything at 7. Well, we could do that. But I think it's not. We're not going to be in position to mutate him regardless. So we're just going to say no attacks. He'll just block with that. Say go. So yeah, we're really looking to probably get a Brazen now. Alright, so... Oh, I keep saying he has a Judith, but he put it on the bottom. So... Yeah, I should have known he doesn't have it in hand. Okay. Might be bait, but I think no matter what, we just counter a creature spell. Okay, so he's going in. So we will bring out the Slitherwisp here. I think we're going to block, like so. Block. See what he does from here. He could make a token for his mana. Embercleave is in his deck. Okay. That's bringing us to 1 now. Yikes. So yeah, it's pretty much bounce or bust. Well, actually, we can bring out the Slitherwisp and flash in something. So yeah, actually, I think we have him dead. So we'll attack in, stop on his draw step, and we will Slitherwisp into Nightbonder, and hopefully take the game. Slitherwisp, let that resolve first, and then Nightbonder. Ping you. Do you have like a shock? Alright. So that was a very close game. Felt like both the decks were kind of operating just as they should be. We didn't really have the opportunity to get rid of the Stormfist Crusader at any point earlier. So we could have bounced it at some point, but I think that's fine. Alright, so we're going to want a creature spell kill. We definitely want to have all our creature stuff. Aether Gus are out, as I think they're just too narrow. It seems to be Mardu Humans. Noxious Grass could come in. I could see that. Blacklance Paragon might get us out of a pickle. Disfigure. With the generals and stuff, I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest. Epic Downfall's a little narrow as well. Brazen Bar seems very good. We could bring in the Gust just for the Embercleave is the thing. I guess he had Judith too. I don't think we want the Mysticals at all. So yeah, let's go through Spectral, fine. Blacklance. Go down a Night Hoarder, seems less good here. Neutralize seem not great also. So maybe take one gust just for the luck. And this seems so bad just against... We already have two. Going up anymore. We'll try just figure. Yeah. We just want things that kill things. It's going to be a tough matchup regardless, I think. Another one land hand. We've had, what, like 4 of those on the day? Bit unfortunate. Alright, this hand seems okay. Like all these cards, unfortunately. I think we definitely keep the Tyrant score, and we'd probably keep the Octopus. Slitherwisp, maybe. Probably just want the lands. Maybe we keep Slitherwisp instead. Yeah, this is tough. Slitherwisp relies on so much else, meanwhile the Octopus can work on his own. Alright, so we'll play a Watery Grave tapped. So we can Vantress, Swamp, and Passage, so we can play all our lands out when we need to. Tithe Taker. Yeah, so we'll probably just want to kill this now, as it kind of disrupts everything we're trying to do. So he gets a Spirit now. It's okay. Here, a Precinct one. Another good one. Alright. Island out. Yeah, we'll see what he does. Might have to capture something. Yeah, we definitely capture that. Alright. 16. 4 power on board. Alright. Depending on what he does, we might want to just flash out an Octopus. Take our beats. So we can draw into something. Okay. Stormfist Crusader. We can't Octopus onto Bar, which is a pain. We're letting this resolve. I think we just need to kill the hero. Could he get a soldier? A human? Oof. Okay, that's... Yeah, this is going to be a tough one then. Yeah, unfortunately we don't really play any board wipes just because our deck is so creature heavy too. Yeah. An interesting attack. So I think we're just gonna Octopus here. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one to get out of. Probably gonna have to bounce Judith next turn. Yeah, we are not in a great spot. Shark. Yeah, we just got overrun this time. He had a very good draw. Alright. So we'll play out the octopus. Get an island. So we'll kill the priest, the hero. I'll kill Judith. Well, we're just gonna die if we don't bounce Judith. So we're gonna take so yeah, we have to bounce Judith. We can't block this, so I guess we just have to block one of these. Which means we're gonna take 2, 4, 5. And then you can just replay it. Ugh. That's not great. Yeah, that's just dead. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that was another tough one. Green or white seems okay, but I kind of like where we're just at with that. I kind of want more disfigures now that we've seen what he's actually really working with. Maybe neutralize just seems too slow here. Yeah. Alright. Alright, we're on the play. Another one lander. Maybe I should relook into this. I really don't think it's the number of lands that's the problem though. Alright. So we're gonna get rid of the Night Bonder so we can go 1, 2, 3. I think that's the play. That doesn't mean we have to shock in, and we have to draw a land. But we have the octopus. I think, oh, I don't know why I played him out. That was a mistake. Okay. So now we definitely get a free octopus in. We drew a land so we can play Slither Wisp out next turn, which is good. This does leave us open to a 2-for-1. Make him bigger. But at least the octopus replaced himself now. Another land. Okay. So we are flooded. Definitively. Hopefully he plays out a creature here. And does not kill our octopus. That seems relatively unlikely. Yeah. Okay, targets it. Angrath's Rampage. What are you gonna do? Alright. So we'll play out Island. Say go. Hero of Precinct 1. Flash this guy out. Alright, so we have some good card advantage now at least. We'll definitely want to do this. So we can play both out. See if he wants to trade this. Yeah. That was a risky attack, but I really think he's relying on this hero to get through. Maybe a little too risky of an attack still, but I don't know. So we'll get 2 cards now, which is great. For once, our Slither Wisp has kind of lived. Alright, so we'll get that. Let's great. Definitely take just 2 here, not looking to block. Alright, so yeah, we'll Brineborn first, of course. Drain him for 1. Draw a land. Not really what we wanted to see. And then, yeah, I think we will mutate onto him. Give him 1 more toughness. Yeah, really not drawing great right now. I think we'll just hold back for now. We have a great engine. Definitely don't want to trade either of these guys. So yeah, next turn we'll draw 1 card, lose a life. And then hopefully that lets us Slitherwisp plus something. That would be great. Okay, it does not. Drawn a lot of lands. We do have 1 more go at it though. See what he wants to do. Cannot currently cleave. Can now currently cleave. Alright. Alright. Let's play out the Slitherwisp, see what we draw into. Okay. So now I think I'm going to block the hero. Let everything else through. Yeah, there's the cleave. Get another island. So yeah, we're definitely gonna make him use it. Because now we still lose here. But we knock him down to 1 and then he's just dead on his turn. Yep, okay. So despite all the land drops that we've been making, quite the landlord, he's gonna die. Alright. Alright. So that was match 3. We'll probably play 1 more for the video, and then we'll end it there and see. We'll do kind of like a deck recap. Alright, so last match of the video, we're going to be going on the draw again. This hand seems fine. We'll play a turn 1 Sailor into probably just an island turn 2 and see where we go from there. Alright, so green-blue deck of some sort. No companion again. Kind of inclined just to Spectral Sailor here because, oh, we have the Dispute, so no, we won't. They could have a counterspell for the Sailor, but if we can just get him on like a Growth Spiral or something, rather do that. Okay, so he might Dispute us. But if he disputes a Sailor, that's fine. Alright, so we'll play. So this lets us Aether Gust and Brineborn Cutthroat. So we'll do that. Alright. Opt. That's fine. Not really worth a counter spell when we could Brineborn hopefully next turn. Maybe he just plays an Uro, we'll Gust it. Or Dispute it, rather. Okay. Yeah, we'll Dispute his Uro. Don't really need any of that right now. Quench is a good draw too. Kind of lets us keep a land. Kind of lets us get past this turn 3 kind of stutter with our Temple. And this is again why I don't really like to play too many of these guys. Just unless it's turn 1 with them, it feels pretty bad. Sure, you can have a Grazer. So yeah, it looks like some sort of Simic traditional ramp deck. See what else he's got going on though. Okay, so Temur ramp. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely play out a Brine board on his turn. Draw our castle that we looked for. Get a nice easy attack in, get in for 1. And he is very far away from Uro. We're set up quite well to neutralize, quench, kind of just Merchant of the Veil. I'm kind of inclined just to gust that, actually. Kind of turns off his turn. Or we could just let him have it. I think that's fine. Yeah. Discards an Arclight Phoenix, okay. So he's some sort of Temur graveyard interaction, rampy sort of deck. Song of Creation. So we're definitely going to counter that. The real question is, what are we going to counter it with? We can't just purely quench it. If we neutralize it, we'll leave ourselves open to a possible counterspell, but I think at this point that's worth it. Let's see if that works. Doesn't seem like it will. Oh, okay. I was wrong. Okay, so yeah, Temur Song of Creation. I haven't played against this deck, actually. So we'll see exactly what it's up to. It seems like we got rid of its main engine. Okay, so he's not going to chump. Just going to save the 1. I think we will Watery Grave here. Let's go see the castle. Brazen plus that. Alright, so if we quench this, he's at 4. I mean, he's going to the graveyard regardless. Let's just have 1 more card. I think we just gust it so that he can't draw it. Oh, he's going to go for it. Okay. That's interesting. Another Song of Creation. Okay. Okay, so let's see what happens. We let this happen instead of quenching. Quenching means he can't do anything else. But this also means we can just quench whatever he does. Yeah. Alright, so in a bit of a precarious spot right now. Bit of a precarious spot. Not quite at Uro territory, thankfully. He does have a spell that he can cast. He drew a land, so that's good for us. Yeah, we'll let this through. He's going to draw 2 cards. See what he does with them. I mean, the fact that he has to discard his hand at end of turn means he's going to be able to Uro next turn, which is pretty bad for us. So, we'll see what he does. Probably quench anything he does. And then we'll draw a card as well. Okay. So, yeah. He'll discard his hand. We will draw a card. It's a Fabled Passage. So 2 lands off of that. Okay. Not great. I think we will draw a card here, because if we draw a Brazen Borrower, we win. Sea Dasher, does that get us there? He goes to 1. He goes to 1. he's probably gonna Uro next turn, which means he goes here. And he has 4 mana left, which means this is a very tough spot. We could bring him to 1 and just draw a card. I think that might be better. That is unfortunate that it wasn't lethal. But, hey, what can you do? So we do draw a card out of it. Great Shark would have been great this turn. Can't even quench this turn. Okay. So Uro doesn't save him on its own. So that's a benefit. Okay. So he draws 2, draws another. See what he draws into. Nothing, it seems. So that was a free spell. A free spell. Okay, so yeah, this is the kind of engine of the deck. It's these Rosethorn Acolytes that kind of just let him, sort of like a Manamorphose, but better. 1 less mana, but 1 extra card. 1 bottom, so he's still looking for something, it seems, at least, so that's good. Dead in the air still. Growth Spiral, okay. So it's gonna have to be like a Bone Crusher Giant, so I assume what he's looking for. Arboreal Grazer. Yeah. So that's gonna be able to block. So that's good. Merchant of the Veil. Okay, so I think that's probably it from him. Growth Spiral. So we're gonna need to hope he probably, well, with this seems like it's gonna be close. Oh right, the Arclight Phoenix has come back. I forgot about that. I did forget about that. So yeah, we were close. Don't think Brineborn's gonna get there. Yeah, we really need the Great Shark. Yeah, none of these attacks are really great. So I think we just gotta kind of hold back. 24 cards in library though. Yeah, all these adventure cards synergize so well with Song of Creation. Can't really Great Shark here because got to counter one of his merchant probably. I mean, yeah, there's no real reason to kill it right now. It's already got its damage is done at this point. Probably just looking to. I assume he probably has a Jace. Or wait, Jace's or Thassa's Oracle, rather. He's looking for. If it's the Oracle, we can try and get him. 20 cards. We may not be dead just yet, which is good. Draws 2 more cards, or 3 more cards. $17 cards in library. Okay. On top. I mean, he's getting low on mana too, so he's got to be careful. Yep, merchant. Say okay. 15. Okay, there's another Rose Thorn. Is that his last one? Yes. Okay. I mean, he's definitely not won yet, so. Oh, I thought that was his last one. Oh, I miscounted because they are in exile, that's right. Okay. I mean, we'll see what he does, but I don't know if he'll have enough resources next turn to win. Sure. Yeah, okay. My turn. Raisin also seems pretty good. Just gonna hold back. Probably take a hit from the Uro. There's the growth spiral. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we'll probably chump one. Okay, so yeah, we probably just don't want to take as least damage as possible here, so gives the best chance of winning. Okay. Going to end step again. We can still Great Shark. Yeah, I mean, so at this point we just make it so he can't attack us, really. Do we have lands on the bottom of our library? I guess we can get some marginal deck thinning in. And also Vantress. Alright, so no cards in hand, can't do anything. So yeah, we're safe to Vantress. thought those seemed pretty okay. Just waiting game now, so we can mill them out. Alright, so draws a card. Puts a land into play. One top, one bottom. Sure. Pass the blockers. Block. Can't block that, doesn't matter. We'll just take it. So now he can't cast Uro really even. So yeah, we'll see what he does. Okay, so yeah. So he never was able to get a critical mass of creatures onto the board there. So we were able to kind of just outpace him. So we want the Essence Scatter. Probably want the Duresses. Duresses actually seem pretty bad. Downfall, meh. I think we do want the Ashiok here so we can continuously mill him out. Yeah, we more so want to interact on the stack than we do when things actually get to the battlefield. The gate seems a little too narrow. Maybe? Probably bring it in. Alright, so in that case, I do not think we need the Dirge Bats. They seem a little too slow. Probably go down a Slither Wisp. Yeah, we want all the stack. Maybe a Tyrant Scorn too. Farika's Libation lets us kill his Song of Creation. And that seems pretty good. Brazen Bar also seems great. Shark seems good, but maybe just go down one on the draw. Yeah, we'll see what we do. Alright. Okay, this hand is not good enough. Mull. Oof. We'll reluctantly keep because I don't think going to 5 against this deck is going to be very good. Alright. Okay, so nothing from him right now. I'm gonna say maybe just like a Growth Spiral. He didn't have it last turn, but who knows. A Dispute, that's fine on that. We'll play out a Swamp so we can Slither Wisp if need be. Our draws have been pretty good so far. Okay, land. Yeah, we'll run out this Wisp. He has another counter spell. And Opt. Yeah. Okay, sure. Didn't really need another land there. Another Opt. So he's churning through his deck right now. Probably trying to find this Song of Creation. One bottom is good for us. 5 cards to our 4. hopefully, finally, we can resolve a creature, a threat. Definitely thinking. So if he plays Song out... Okay, he doesn't. I think we have to let this through. I was going to say, if he plays the Song out and is going to just try and combo off right then and there, I'd feel inclined just to try and let it happen. Okay, it's a top. Because anything he tries to combo with, we can just gust. Alright, hopefully our little dashing octopus can get through. Alright, that's a good draw. Come on, little guy. Oh, to damage? Okay, so. Ooh, a dispute is also a good draw. There's the spiral. I think we'll let that happen. So no land in his hand. If he Uros, we will try and counter. We'll gust first, I guess, if he plays a land. Song of Creation. Okay, so I think... Yeah, we'll try and dispute that. Okay, so it goes through. Grazer. Okay. I think it is worth bouncing the Grazer so we can get an extra card. Negate. Another solid draw. Alright. So 3, 5. So we can't... So this would be 7. So I think we play the Temple because we can do both of the other things. I'll take a Shark. Sure. Another Opt is fine. Hopefully bottom. Okay, good for us. So our little Shark is definitely keeping us in line with whatever he's drawing. If he just plays out Uro here, we will gust it. And then if he tries to counter our gust, we negate. If not, we put a Borrower out. Yeah, he's debating. He probably doesn't have any interaction to come back at us. So if this Uro doesn't resolve for him, it's going to be kind of bad news. So the Grazer is able to resolve, unfortunately, which means we won't be getting in with our Octopus anytime soon. Okay, another land is good. Play out the Rogue. Play out the Great Shark. Attack with both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7 means we will play out the land, so we can do both. Alright, so we'll counter his Uro here. He won't be able to bring it back. We'll let the spiral resolve. This is going to be at 4. I'll need 2 more things. Okay, land, perfect. Oh man, yeah, we were drawing hot this game. Well, definitely will not lie. Yeah, he's just saying I can't You just can't let him have that card advantage. Unfortunately for him, we definitely do have a nice suite of cards in hand. Our 2 are very good. He needs 2 cards. He's playing it for his draw discard. Yeah, I think I'm going to gust you. So now he has to block. Oh, that just, yeah, that's just the game. Oh, he put it away. Yeah, that's why I've been confused, because sometimes it looks like he's putting it on top when he's really not. So we draw another card, get a Sailor, another just great draw off the top. He needs 1 more card here to do that. And there's the concede. So yeah, we'll go to a quick deck recap here. We've had a pretty successful day, and we'll talk about the deck. All right, so deck recap time. Overall on the day, we were 3-1, with our 1 loss being to that Jeskai deck with Teferi in it and the Companion. Overall, I'd say the deck performed well. It felt strong throughout the whole day, with the only exception being that Teferi deck, which is to be expected. I think for that reason, the shift to having 3 Noxious Grafts in the board is probably going to be necessary for the deck to function, just so that we can kind of at all deal with Teferi. So if they go Teferi turn 3, we can just Noxious Grasp it if we don't have stack interaction. That seems good. Besides that, though, yeah, the deck felt strong. I think the pinnacle of the deck was probably the Fires of Creation deck, Song of Creation deck rather, and that kind of really showed how we can interact with their spells very cheaply and then have threats that kind of slowly peck them down over time. I think all the cards in the deck function just as they should. I think Dirgebat was probably the weakest performer here, but then again, he didn't really get time to show like the true capabilities of the card. So I think for now, just kind of tentatively looking at this card, maybe a 1 of could be good. Voracious Great Shark performed great, might even go up to a 4 of. Slitherwisp was a must kill, so whenever he landed, we were just able to kind of run away with the game if we just got like 1 turn on their turn to cast some spells. So yeah, I think the deck was really strong. But yeah, if you guys like the content, I am also starting to stream on Twitch under Dancing Queen TV, or you can find some YouTube videos I might be posting on the channel at this location. So yeah, other like socials and stuff will be in the description. But yeah, thank you, and hope you enjoyed.